Vladimir Putin has gone back to work, one day after an audacious attack on his office. We see him here talking to the development minister at the Kremlin, Russia's traditional seat of power. But we now know it's not immune to attack. In what seems to be a spectacular failure of security, the complex was hit by 2 drones. But how did this happen, and who's responsible? Moscow has a special system called the SA-22 to ward off attacks from the air. It provides a big defensive shield, as represented by these concentric rings, with its weapons placed on top of prominent buildings. This one pictured on the roof of the Defense Ministry. Yet the first drone hit the top of the Senate building within the Kremlin complex, setting fire to part of the roof. 15 minutes later, the second skirts the flagpole and detonates above the roof of exactly the same building. Experts wonder whether the defense shield had been switched off.
The system of the SA-22 that we've seen deployed in Russia should be able to engage the targets up to 4 kilometers out with the cannon. The fact that these devices have got so close to the Kremlin buildings themselves is actually quite surprising.
The Russians rarely admit to security blunders, but they made this one public. The top talk shows discussing the details, although not sharing the footage of the strikes. The president's spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, blamed it on Washington. Ukraine is carrying out America's plans. But he's released no evidence, no pictures of the wreckage. Some think the Russians carried out this attack themselves.
This war is going badly for Putin, and on balance, it's more likely that there are Russian hands involved in this attack than Ukrainian attacks.
The Ukrainian president, currently traveling through Europe, has denied all responsibility. We don't stage attacks in Russia, says Volodymyr Zelensky, although they almost certainly do. Trains and fuel depots in Russia have been attacked over the past few days, including 3 oil reservoirs here in the city of Krasnodar, Ukraine likely to be behind it. Russia says it will retaliate after the attack on the Kremlin. And the retaliation may have already started. These messages for Moscow and for the Kremlin apparently scrawled on the back of drones used in a strike on Ukraine. The bombardment is sure to continue. John Sparks, Sky News.